All right, so now, guys, let us move on to the fifth participant. She received her Bachelor in Engineering and Master in Engineering Science degrees from Multimedia University Malaysia in 2003 and 2009. She is currently working with TM R&D under the Analog Design Unit. Her research interests includes integrated circuit designs and wireless communication technology. Oh, I so know this topic so well because I come from the electronics engineering background as well. So without further ado, let us welcome Ms. Siti Maisurah binti Muhammad Hassan.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Most of us in this room, we own a phone. We own a smartphone. You know, it used to be just about voice communication. But now, we use our smartphone in lots more ways. You know, we use our phones to take pictures, take videos, we send it to our friends, family. We use our phone to F-booking, WhatsApping, you know, all those terms. And to think that before this, it is just for voice communication, it is really remarkable. So this is, today I bring the actual phone that was used by my father back in 1992. As you can see, it is big, bulky. Compared to our phones right now, it is relatively small. You know, when I first showed this to my 6-year-old daughter, the first thing she said, it's big, huge. And then the second thing she asked me was, what games can I play with it? So when I tell her that it's just for voice communication, it's a phone, and she's quite, huh? And I say, yes, it's just for phone communication. So when it comes about size, you know, another example, computer. So the first generation of computers were invented in around 1940. And the size of the computers back then were really huge, about 1,800 square feet. Now that is actually about the size of a standard apartment nowadays. So to think how those big, huge machines shrunk to just the size that we use nowadays, that's magical. You know, what makes all those transformation, shrinking process possible is due to an invention called the transistor. A device so small, so tiny, yet so powerful that it creates a revolution in the electronic industry. So just a little bit of history about the transistor. Transistor was invented back in 1947 in Bell Laboratories by 3 physicists, John Bardeen, Walter Brattain, and William Shockley. So basically, this invention relates about electron flow, where it studies about the property of atomic structure, as well as the electrical behavior of a semiconductor. So one type of transistor that is still used nowadays in our modern devices is the metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, or in short, MOSFET. So how a MOSFET works is that it controls electron flow from one point to another point, from source to the drain, by modifying or changing the voltage at the third terminal, known as the gate. So by applying or modifying this voltage, we can make a channel to appear or disappear between these 2 points. So this is how we manage to control electron flow or current flow inside a transistor. So even though this transistor solved the problem faced by its previous technology, which is the vacuum tube, problem arises when complex circuitry are involved. So basically, all in all, the transistor is used in many ways in our daily life. This is how one small piece of device contributes to a giant leap for mankind. Thank you.
Questions and feedback from the floor?
I have not a comment, not a question actually. Maybe the MC can take this as a cue. I see some of you all present a very wide coverage in 3 minutes that make the judges difficult to focus on your content, how accurate is your content, because we have to evaluate on your scientific explanation actually. You cover the whole one, and the best thing for 3 minutes, take a small topic and just go into it. So it's easy for us to judge you actually.
Okay. Thank you for the comment.
Any questions from the judges?
So you're telling me that in the next few years, it's my fingertips that I'm going to use to talk, and no longer thing that I hold in my hand. Is that where we're heading?
In my humble opinion, it depends, because in form of communication, electronics, for people who are like deaf or use sign language. So instead of voice, we can still use video, text, other forms of communication. So that just make our life easier.
Do you think the phone will be bigger instead of smaller? Because now people don't watch television anymore. They watch television on the phone. They buy my batik shirts on the phone. They communicate with me on the phone. Do you think it will become bigger instead of smaller?
I think the best that the industry, the big giants are finding out is the optimum size for the consumer. Last time it used to be like very large phone, then it starts to shrink to smaller phones. But then since we are using it for pictures, video communication, then it starts to be bigger again. So in the end, they need to find the best one that suits your hands, portability.
All right, thank you very much for your very interesting presentation.